Let's get something straight from the start. Cheating is a choice. It's wrong. It breaks trust. And no job, no matter how crazy or stressful, justifies doing that to someone. But here's the thing most people miss. Some jobs make cheating way easier. So if you've ever had a weird gut feeling about her late nights or just a work friend she talks about all the time, this might explain why. Let's start with one you've probably never thought about. Personal trainers. Personal trainers get close. Really close. Not just emotionally. Physically. Think about it. Every session includes touching, encouraging, giving attention. It's part of the job. Now imagine a woman who's been feeling invisible at home. She walks into the gym. Her trainer smiles at her, remembers her name, says she looks strong today. Boom. That's already more attention than some guys give all week. And it doesn't stop there. Trainers watch her body change. They celebrate her progress. They say, "You're crushing it. You're glowing. You've come so far." That kind of energy? It builds fast. And if they're training together 3 times a week, that's more face-to-face time than she might be getting with her own partner. Real talk. Also, gyms are charged environments. Sweat, tight clothes, music pumping, energy high. It's not exactly boring. Even innocent moments, like correcting her form, can turn into tension if someone's already craving connection. Is every personal trainer crossing the line? Of course not. But does this setup make it easier for someone who's already feeling lonely, bored, or unappreciated to get pulled in? Absolutely. And don't forget, a lot of trainers are naturally charismatic. That's part of their job too, making people feel good. So if she starts mentioning her trainer a lot, or if she suddenly can't miss a session even when she's tired or sick, just be aware. Doesn't mean she's cheating, but it might mean she's getting something emotional from that space she's not getting anywhere else. And when emotion mixes with physical touch, that's when lines get blurry fast. Quick pause. If this is already making you rethink a few things, hit the like button. And if you want more insights like this, go ahead and subscribe. Helps the channel a lot. Back to it. It's not just about attraction. It's about timing, attention, and emotional gaps. Let's say she's stressed at home. Arguments, pressure, boredom. Then she goes to the gym, and suddenly someone's smiling, listening, encouraging her. That contrast feels powerful. Add a few vulnerable conversations between sets, maybe he opens up too, and boom, there's a quiet bond building where there shouldn't be one. And here's the craziest part. Most of the time, it doesn't start with bad intentions. It starts with compliments, with comfort, with small moments that feel harmless. Until one day, they're not. So if your partner is in this world, pay attention, not because you don't trust her, but because connection grows in silence. And if you're not watering your relationship, someone else might be. This doesn't mean every woman with a trainer is looking for something on the side. But the environment matters. The dynamic matters. And when you add emotional distance at home into the mix, that's how things slip. The next profession is teachers. You might think this job is all about books, kids, and homework. And yeah, it is. But there's something else happening in the background, and nobody talks about it. Teachers are surrounded by people all day, but still feel invisible. They give everything to their students, their school, and usually their families too. They're always giving. Giving time. Giving energy. Giving attention. But rarely getting anything back. That kind of emotional drain builds up. So what happens when someone outside that routine suddenly notices them? One compliment. One real conversation. One moment where they're not Ms. So-and-so, but just a woman again. It hits different. Especially when home doesn't feel like home anymore. When their partner is used to the routine, when the excitement is gone, and when no one's asking how they're feeling. That little bit of attention can feel like oxygen. And it usually comes from someone close. A coworker, a new parent, a younger teacher, someone who sees how hard she works and actually says it. The staff room becomes more than a break room. It becomes a place where small connections happen. Inside jokes, shared stress, venting about the same problems. It starts off innocent, but slowly the bond builds. The emotional wall starts to crack. And once that emotional door opens, it's hard to close it again. Remember, people don't wake up one day and say, "Time to cheat." That's not how it works. It's tiny things. A message here. A long look there. A shared coffee. And then suddenly, someone feels closer than they should. Also, let's be real. Teachers deal with routine all day. Bell rings. Teach. Bell rings. Grade papers. Bell rings. Go home. Repeat. It's predictable. Boring. And when life gets too predictable, the mind starts craving anything that feels new. And what feels newer than a little unexpected attention? Another thing no one talks about: teachers are emotional people. They care deeply. That's why they do the job in the first place. So when they feel something intense, they don't ignore it, they follow it. Even when it's risky. And let's not forget the pressure. Tests. Parents. Admin. Kids with problems. It builds and builds. Having someone there who understands it, who listens, that kind of emotional intimacy can grow fast. Faster than people expect. So no, this isn't about blaming teachers. It's about understanding the context. Because once you understand the patterns, you start noticing the little signs. The messages that go from "Hey, how was your class?" to "I wish we worked together more." Or the change in tone, the extra smile, the more frequent texts. It's quiet at first, but it grows. And if someone's feeling unappreciated at home, that small connection can feel massive. Here's another thing. Teachers are leaders. They're used to being strong. But strong people get tired too. And when someone offers a soft place to land, even the strongest can lean into it. It's not about weakness. It's about being human. That's the trap. You think everything's fine. The job's hard, but manageable. Then one day a new face shows up, says the right thing, and boom, everything starts to shift. And the worst part, it feels right. Because when someone finally sees you again, when they make you feel alive after years of just being mom or ma'am or miss, it hits deep. It's not planned. It's not always physical. But it's real. So if you're in a relationship with a teacher, pay attention. Not out of fear, but out of care. Ask questions. Give compliments. Make her feel seen. Because if you don't, someone else might. And if you're a teacher reading this, just remember, emotional attraction can sneak in wearing a friendly smile. Stay sharp, stay aware, and guard your peace. Oh, and if this is hitting a little too close to home, hit that like button. Helps the channel grow. Hit subscribe so you don't miss other videos. Let's move on to another profession no one expects: female police officers. Now, before you raise an eyebrow, no, this isn't about stereotypes. And again, cheating is always a choice. But the job? It puts people in situations where emotional lines blur fast. Police work is intense. It's danger, adrenaline, long hours, night shifts, and constant alertness. It's seeing the worst in people and still showing up the next day. For a lot of women in uniform, it also means living in a world where they constantly have to prove themselves, tough enough, smart enough, sharp enough. They wear the badge, but underneath, there's pressure and loneliness. Because here's the thing, when you spend your day in survival mode, there's not much room for softness. There's no time to be vulnerable. No space to fall apart. So what happens when suddenly there is? It could be a partner on patrol. Someone who's been through the same late-night calls, the same stress, the same near misses. Someone who just gets it, no explanation needed. They drive together, eat together, vent together. Hours on the road. Jokes. Stories. Silence. Then one day, something shifts. It's not planned. But after months of sharing the same car, the same coffee stops, the same frustration with life, it starts to feel like more. And that's the trap. Because that closeness, that emotional bond built on shared pressure, it feels like safety. It feels like something earned. Like something real. Especially when things at home are falling apart. Let's be honest, police work doesn't exactly make for a smooth family life. Shifts are long. Stress levels are high. And by the time you walk through the door, there's nothing left to give. So if someone else is giving you attention, someone who understands why you're distant, tired, or quiet, it's easy to lean into that connection. It's not about bad intentions. It's about emotional exhaustion. You're tired of being the strong one, of being alert, of always holding it together. And when someone says, "You don't have to explain it," I know, your guard drops a little. Then it drops again, and again, until eventually the emotional bond feels stronger than the one waiting at home. Now, this doesn't mean every female officer is crossing lines, but it does mean the job creates emotional conditions that most people don't see. You don't see the 3 a.m. patrol car conversations. You don't hear the phone calls after a tough shift. You don't see the little laughs, the quiet looks, the bond that forms under stress. You just notice when things start to change, when she pulls away, when she stops talking about her day, when she seems distracted, detached. That's when the emotional shift has already happened. So what's the point? It's not to scare anyone. It's to open eyes. If your partner's in law enforcement, they need support more than you realize. They need to feel safe at home. They need to feel seen, not just as a badge, but as a woman. Someone soft, someone emotional, someone human. Because if home feels like just another shift to survive, eventually, they'll look for peace somewhere else. And if you're the officer, keep your eyes open. The job bonds people fast. And not every bond needs to turn into something more. Be honest with yourself. Ask, am I leaning into this because I'm tired? Or because I'm truly disconnected at home? That one question could save a relationship. And if you've made it this far, drop a like. Helps us out. Seriously. The next is a profession everyone respects, but almost no one suspects. And we save the most intense for last. So hit subscribe. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's finish strong with one of the most emotionally demanding jobs out there. Nurses. Nursing is tough. Physically and emotionally. Long hours. Night shifts. Lives in your hands. Tears. Pain. Joy. All wrapped into one. Nurses give so much to patients, families, co-workers that sometimes there's nothing left for themselves. And here's the thing. That pressure doesn't just disappear when they leave the hospital. It follows them home. Into relationships. Into friendships. Now imagine working a 12-hour shift, caring for strangers at their worst, and then coming home to silence. No one asking how you really feel. No one seeing the weight you carry. That loneliness is heavy. And sometimes that loneliness finds comfort in the most unexpected places. Maybe it's a fellow nurse. Someone who understands what you've been through. Someone who listens without judgment. Someone who's awake when you're awake, on the same crazy schedule. They share stories, vent frustrations, offer support. What starts as friendship, often in the quiet hours of the night, can turn into a deeper connection. It's not about cheating being right or justified. It's about human needs. Everyone needs to be seen, understood, and cared for. When nurses feel emotionally invisible at home, they look for that connection elsewhere. And when you're exhausted physically and emotionally, boundaries can blur. Maybe it's a touch on the arm during a tough day. Maybe it's a long conversation that lasts until dawn. Maybe it's an extra coffee break together. The job creates closeness. That closeness can be powerful. And it can turn into temptation. Now, this isn't about blaming nurses or anyone else. It's about understanding the why behind the what. And if you're in a relationship with a nurse, don't just assume she's tired or she's busy. Ask. Listen. Make space for her. Because if you don't, someone else will. And if you're a nurse, remember, your strength is incredible. But it's okay to ask for support. It's okay to feel. It's okay to say when you're stretched thin. And don't wait for someone else to give you that comfort. Create it at home. If this chapter made you think, smash that like button. And if you want more real talk, subscribe now. Thanks for sticking with us through all 4 chapters. Remember, cheating is a choice, but knowing the game helps you play smarter. Don't forget to like and subscribe.